Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make a total classic. We're making lemon meringue pie, fully vegan. That means egg-free, dairy-free, and if you can find some gluten-free graham crackers, this whole recipe is gluten-free as well. Let's get to it. This is actually a 3-for-1 recipe because what we're doing is we're combining a lemon curd, sweetened condensed milk, and transforming that into a pie. So you can pick any of those recipes and do them on their own as well for other things. I'll give you the step-by-step for each one. We're in a new kitchen, if you can tell. And since the last time I was here in one of our horizontal videos, we also have a brand new vegan cooking school. Go check it out at mybrownble.com. It's a full path of culinary training, all plant-based, and I hope you love it, but let's get cooking. Let's start how we always do, just so we don't forget. We're gonna preheat our oven to 350 Fahrenheit, which is about 180 Celsius, and I'm just gonna grease a springform cake pan. We're gonna get started with our sweetened condensed milk because that's the part that takes the longest in this recipe, although you can do that in advance as well. And we're simply adding all of the ingredients to a pot. There is no comparison from making it yourself to at least the store-bought brands that I've found, so highly recommend making it at home. It's so easy. So we'll just add 2 cans of full-fat coconut milk into a pot. Maple syrup goes in, and a couple of pinches of salt. We're gonna bring this up to a boil, and once it boils, we lower the heat to medium, and we're gonna let that simmer for about 45 minutes, just so that it gets really thick and creamy and reduced. And that's gonna be our condensed milk. And if you refrigerate it, you can use it for so many other dessert recipes. This is the base of so many dishes. So you've got a full-on recipe right here. I've set mine to simmer in the back burner there, and just from time to time, keep an eye on it, give it a little whisk so it doesn't stick in the bottom, but you can just let that go. And magic of video, I made one earlier just so you see how it turns out, and as you can see, it's so thick, so creamy, and if you coat a spoon, it has a very, very thick coating on that spoon. That's perfect condensed milk texture right there. We're just gonna set this aside and keep going with our recipe. You can use a food processor, you can use a blender, you can use a mallet and crush your graham crackers by hand, whatever you have. Let's just add these in. Just make sure that they are dairy-free and egg-free to make it fully vegan. And like I said, you can get gluten-free ones. Make this whole pie gluten-free. You wanna really crush these until you have a fine powder. We add in some melted non-dairy butter. You'll have this wet sand texture that is gonna be perfect for our base. We're gonna add it right into our prepared pan. Let's spread it out. And this one isn't going to only go on the base, it's gonna go up the sides a little bit. Once we have it sort of even, my absolute favorite tool for pressing this down and make it nice and compact is a water glass. Once we do a sort of base, we go against the sides. I'm gonna pop this in my preheated oven and bake our base for 8 minutes. Now let's make our lemon curd. And this lemon curd is absolutely delicious, not only in this pie, but just to keep a jar in your refrigerator. It'll last about a week. It's a great edible gift to give out as well, and is so delicious on toast. You can serve it with pound cake for a lemony twist. It's so, so good. So to a small pot, we're adding some non-dairy milk, some evaporated cane sugar or the sugar of your choice, some cornstarch, vanilla extract, a dash of turmeric for color, but don't go overboard, just a dash. And we need so much freshly squeezed lemon juice. Lastly, we need a ton of that lemon fragrance, so we're gonna zest 2 lemons into this pot. Remember not to go through the white part. Let's whisk this all really well together, and we're going to heat it on high heat and let this come up to a boil and thicken. It happens in no time at all, so stay here and stay whisking. As soon as you see that it bubbles and thickens, be careful because it's super hot and it likes to create tons of bubbles. Lower the heat and just give it a good whisk, and your base for the lemon curd is basically ready. We're gonna strain it now into a bowl that has some cold non-dairy butter. So the idea is that you have the hot lemon curd and it combines with that cold butter for that perfect texture. And the straining is what gives it that luscious feel. I've taken my base out of the oven, it's nicely baked, and now I have my non-dairy butter in this bowl. I'm adding a fine strainer, and I'm gonna add my lemon curd in. And this part is a patience game. Let's mix this really well and get everything combined. Now to serve this as a lemon curd, you need to chill it in the fridge in a nice jar and just use it throughout the week. But we don't need to chill it today because the whole pie is going to chill later on. So let's combine this with our condensed milk and bake our pie. Let's whisk really, really well to combine both of them together. This is gonna be our luscious lemon custard for our pie. It smells so incredible. Look at this gorgeous pie. We're gonna bake it in our oven, which is still on, at 350, like I said. So if your pie comes out and it still jiggles a ton like mine does, that's totally normal. This is a very luscious and creamy pie, but the fridge is gonna do its magic. So we're going to refrigerate our pie for at least 4 hours, but if you can do this the night before, it's gonna be even more delicious with even more of that lemony flavor. Look at that dark color it has turned into. It's just amazing, and oh my gosh, it smells so good. So I'll see you in a few hours. Our pie is almost done chilling, so I'm gonna go ahead and whip up our topping, which is going to be a meringue topping. We're making meringue without eggs, and yes, it's possible thanks to the wonder that is aquafaba, which is this liquid that I have right here. This is the brine that comes in a can or a jar of chickpeas. You just strain them and collect the liquid, and that's what we've got here. You measure it out, and we're gonna add it to our standing mixer. Now we whip, and we have to play the patience game until we've got slightly stiff peak consistency. So we're not quite to stiff peak consistency, but we're getting there. This is super frothy. And now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients and get it all the way to stiff peak. First, some vanilla extract, some cream of tartar, and this is going to help give it structure. And now our powdered sugar. Let's whip on high until we have that stiff peak consistency. Look at that perfect meringue. I mean, that's just incredible. Look at that. Let's give it a taste. You should taste sweet meringue. Nothing like beans, which is what people are afraid of when I talk about aquafaba. That's perfection. Let's top our pie. I just want to show you once it's chilled how much it's meant to jiggle, so you can tell once you've refrigerated if you still need to refrigerate it a little bit longer. So there's still a little bit of a jiggle, but nothing like we had when we took it out of the oven. Now I'm going to carefully run a thin knife or a thin spatula along the edges and release the latch. You're always going to have a little bit of that cookie crumbling. That's totally normal and okay, and we're going to serve this baby up. That's the most stressful part of making this pie. If you don't feel confident enough, just leave it over here. You just might scratch it when cutting into it. If I were making mini lemon meringue pies, I would go to the trouble of piping our topping, but in a classic big pie. This is meant to be rustic and you're supposed to have a whole big mound of it on top. So we're just doing it old school and plopping it over our pie, which also means less work. It's great. When you're adding your final bit of meringue, give it a few little peaks with a circular movement, just so it looks nice when you torch it, because we're gonna. Now, if you don't have a kitchen torch, you can totally serve this as is. It's gonna be delicious either way, but if you have one, we're gonna do this. I'm sorry, but I feel so proud, and I know you're gonna feel super proud too. Now it's just a matter of slicing it up and giving it a taste. If you're not gonna serve it right away, keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to serve. This is unbelievable. This has to be in my top 3 of favorite desserts. It's so good. Go make it.